This is Ritchie-james from Phoenix Rising. I'm here at the Manchester Academy Free, and I'm joined by Mike from Symphony X. How are you doing?
How are you today? Glad to be here.
So tell us what you do in the band and how you got involved.
Well, I'm the bass player for the band. I joined the band roughly, I'd say, about 12 years ago. And I just basically got into the band by just word of mouth and knowing some people that they've known. And then we finally hooked up and had the audition process. And the rest has been history, as they say.
So when you look at bands nowadays, a lot of the members come and go. What do you think's kept you lot together? I mean, the entire band with the lineup as it is has been together since 2000, and there's not been any changes. So 11 years, that's impressive for most bands today. So how have you kept it together?
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of the bands, band members come and go, and but luckily for us, because we think of ourselves as more than a band. We think of ourselves as more like a family. And we all have a great love for each other. And, listen, sometimes things are great, sometimes things are not so great. But the bottom line is we all love each other, and we're all determined to keep the band together. We know we're in this for the long haul, and in the future, that's what you're going to see. It's going to be the same lineup all the way through, and we're looking forward to making music together for a long time.
So what influences you then?
Musically, or for bass players, what?
Well, you personally in music and make you pick up the bass in the first place.
Oh, okay. Well, for me personally, growing up, of course, I was influenced by all the classic heavy metal bands of the time. I was huge fans of course, Judas Priest and Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden and that whole thing. And then during the 90s, I started really getting into bands like Blind Guardian and Iced Earth and things like that. So that kind of style of music I always liked, just heavy metal, and I also liked the epic style of heavy metal, the grandioseness of it. So I've always been a big fan of that. And the band itself has so many influences. It's I see influences basically heavy metal, progressive rock, and classical music.
Country music.
I don't see that much, but so we're influenced by those three main ingredients, and also the different members of the band come in with different styles. Like our drummer, Jason, is really influenced by jazz. Michael Romeo is very classically influenced. Mike Pennell on keyboard, very classical. Russell, our singer, is more of just like a hard rock 70s American hard rock singer. So we put all those together, and that's what you get.
Cool. Now, you've not long since released your newest album, Iconoclast. If I'm saying that correctly.
Yes, you are.
Now, I've had a privilege of listening to this album. I think it's great, and I believe it's getting some good reviews. So for those who haven't actually heard it yet, do you want to just give a brief outlook on what the album's like?
Yeah, Iconoclast, I'd say, is probably our darkest and heaviest CD to date. And we're really proud of it. We released a double CD, 12 songs, over 80 minutes of music. And it's basically about mankind and technology going too far, and where the technology begins to take over. And it's a struggle between good and evil. In every song, there's always that whole theme going on. And in the backgrounds of all the songs, we have a lot of these texturing, like mechanical sounding texturing things. So it's really cool all the way through when you listen to it. And we're really proud of it. It's doing really well worldwide. I know in the USA it's gone as far as the charts. It's the best we've ever done chart-wise. And it's getting great reviews. We're so happy. And this is our first European tour supporting Iconoclast, and this has been, I think, our best tour ever.
Cool. Now, you mentioned the tour there. This is your second time back in the UK this year. Sure. So how's the tour been going?
Yeah, the tour has been going so great. We were here earlier this year, just before Iconoclast came out. And I think that was a really good idea looking back, because it really got our name back out there. People were talking about us. People were coming to the shows. We were playing maybe like 2 new tracks from the forthcoming record, and people were digging it. They were liking it. And now I think coming back, it's really done a lot for us. This tour started, it's almost over actually. There's only 3 more shows left, but we've been out for over a month now, and just every show has been great. Every show has been packed with people, great response, and we're already looking forward to coming back again.
Now, of course, on this tour, you've toured with some absolutely amazing bands. Is there anyone that's really stood out for you?
I'll tell you, I really loved playing with Nevermore. Before we did the tour with them, I mean, I knew about them, but I really didn't have any CDs from them, you know. But playing with them, I really loved their music. You know, it was really heavy, but it was really melodic, and, you know, really nice choruses. And, you know, there were some nights where they would close the night. There were some nights where we would close. So, you know, when they would close the night, I would go out there and see their set, and I really enjoyed it. And a great bunch of guys.
Awesome. So is there any advice you can give to upcoming bands that look to you a lot for inspiration?
Sure. I think the most important thing is never give up. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to say that, hey, you know, there's too many bands out there, it's impossible to do it, you know, it's 1 in a million chance, maybe your music isn't marketable enough. Don't listen. Just keep writing songs. Don't give up, because you know what? If I could do it, and if we could do it, you can definitely do it. So hang in there and stay true to what you love.
So what are the plans for the rest of this year when you finish the tour and going on to next year?
Right. This is the last tour for this year. Next year we've got, we're going to be touring the U.S. again next year in the winter, spring. Well, actually the winter we'll be touring in the U.S. And then we will come back to Europe next year. Now, I'm not sure exactly when yet, but we're still looking at that. And we'll probably be touring throughout 2012. So, you know, we'll definitely be around, and look for us, and we'll see you soon.
Well, on a final note, is there anything you'd like to say to the people listening to this?
Well, to everybody, thank you on behalf of all of the band. Thank you for supporting Symphony X. Thank you for buying Iconoclast. You know, we never want to disappoint you, and we're always going to be around. And pleasing the fans is the most important thing to us. So please, if you see us walking around, please say hello. We want to meet you. We want to talk to you. And hopefully we'll see you on tour. Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me today. I look forward to your set later.
Thank you. All right, thanks, man.